So today is the first day of December, and I've decided to make a go at something called Vlogmas, in which you post something every day in December that's supposed to be Christmas related. I've decided that I don't do enough around Christmas to necessarily do that with every episode, but I think it's a good goal to try to do at least one episode a day this month, and no guarantees I'll do it, but I'm going to give it a try. And I'm going to start off by showing you the today's all the videos are going to be relatively short, but today's I'm going to start off with showing you the plants in my garden that are still alive after like a deep frost we had like a week or two ago. It was like 20 degrees outside and it was cold for like 2 or 3 days, and all the really like summertime plants died other than a few. So here goes. Let's go check out what's still alive. Well, for starters, some of my herbs are still alive. We know that rosemary is an evergreen, and this is a plant that lasted last year. It can't handle super cold temperatures, but we had a mild winter last year. I don't think sage can handle cold temperatures, and you can see the last frost did in some of the leaves, but I'm not going to take it out. I plan on doing a more broadleaf sage next year, so I'm just kind of curious how it'll do on its own. One I'm kind of surprised by is my chamomile plants. I had 3 in here. This one seems to want to still sprout, and I doubt I'll get any chamomile out of it, but maybe they'll survive. Maybe this one will survive the winter and I can have it in the spring. I mean, these leaves look super tender, and I don't recall this being a perennial, so I'll just be curious to see how that's doing. And of course, my thyme, oregano, and I can't remember what the other herb is. It might be marjoram, thing that's been around for a year or so is still going strong. So hopefully I'll still have, and this one also survived last year. So hopefully I'll still have plenty of herbs to pull from that are fresh, in addition to the ones that I have preserved, dried and preserved indoors. So sadly, my lettuce died. I took a risk, one too many, and the last frost killed off my big lettuce. I had to toss the leaves. But look how big my arugula is, how well my arugula is doing. I haven't picked it for maybe like 2 weeks. And I think I need to harvest a lot of them. I probably have enough in there for a salad, which usually it's only really enough for sandwiches. So I'm 100% going to grow arugula next year. I just really love having that fresh element to add to salads or my sandwiches, and I just love that kind of peppery flavor. So I'm excited that I still have something fresh in the garden to turn to. I've shown them before, but I think these are my Brussels sprouts, and has been something eating it, but that was a while ago. It seems to really like having the leaves around it. This other one's tiny, and I haven't created any way to shelter them yet, but I do plan to cover them up if I know a deep frost is coming. I pay attention to the weather a lot more than I used to. I don't know about you all, but yeah, all of a sudden I'm like the weather watcher. So hopefully I can keep these guys alive through the winter and have a nice crop in the spring. But yeah, this is my first time growing this kind of a plant. In my last video, this is an old tag. In my last video, I showed you how I got rid of the fence over there and cleaned out this front flower bed. Oh, and it looks like something's been rifling through the bed since then, some critter. But I forgot to mention that I have this purple kohlrabi. You know what? I think I'm getting my stuff mixed up. I think this is purple Brussels sprouts, and the other one is kohlrabi. It's growing in the other bed. I'm going to have to double check that. But yeah, I think that's the case. Anyway, this plant is growing. I'm going to put some leaves around it and try to shelter it a little bit. But it's still doing good, having gone through a couple frosts. So we will see what it looks like in the end. That's it for today's Vlogmas December 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me, what's still alive in your garden? What are you kind of hoping to keep going through the spring? If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you aren't already a subscriber, please consider doing so. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.